Hi, it's Gary. Welcome to today's video. First impressions video for you today. We're going to take a look what's in this box. Here, Pens by Casey. There we go. Hopefully I can get that in camera. Looking forward to this one. It's been sat around for a while, so I've been really looking forward to getting in and trying this pen out. Join me now, down on the table. We'll take the pen out of the box. We'll look through the body, do some size comparisons. I'll ink the pen up, do a writing sample. Then I'll give you my first impressions on this pen. Welcome down to the table. Slightly different background today. I've just got my normal desk. Normally I've got a wooden board on top of here, but the pen's wood, and I thought wood on wood won't show the pen off to its best, so I thought let's go for this white table. If you actually prefer the white table, in the comments, just drop me a note. Do you prefer seeing the wood or just this plain white table? I'd love to get people's feedback. So we've got here a pen box. And then stuck onto it, got this label, Pens by Casey, custom made in Australia. And then there's thanks Gary. Over on the back, we've got details of the pen. This pen, if you were watching my ink event videos, day 25, I did open up a box which was a Pens by Casey pen. This is not that pen. I'll go into that story in just a second. But on the back here, we've got Mokuzai 13, Northern York gum burl, so that's the type of wood, gloss finish, Yoho number 6 1.1 nib, made on the 17th of the 12th 23. Actually my son's birthday, so this was actually made on my son's birthday, which is quite interesting. And then a thanks Gary. So that's the details of the pen. We'll look at the pen in more detail in a second. So I'd say there's a bit of a story. The pen I originally ordered actually back in September, and when it came it was put away because the idea is it was going to be like my main Christmas present, so it was for ink event day 25. My wife wrapped it up, we wrapped things very early, and it was put away in the drawer ready. Earlier on in December, Casey sent me a message. The resin that I'd had that pen made from, he was actually recalling it. He was recalling all the pens because there was a problem with the resin and the threads, they were very, very sticky. One of the beautiful things about ordering, isn't it, from someone who makes the pens themselves, someone who's local. If they're not happy, they do this. They'll recall it. They'll fix the issues for you. Whereas I'm thinking bigger companies, I do have another wooden pen from a big company, had nothing but problems with it. They don't even acknowledge there's a problem. Whereas Casey, very proactive, reached out and said, look, I'll send you the payment to send it back to me. So he sent the money for it to be sent back. He sent the pen back. It wasn't something that could be fixed, so he replaced it with another pen, and that's the pen we're going to look at today. Absolutely awesome customer service. Casey is ever so easy to deal with. Check him out on Facebook and Instagram. I communicate with him via Instagram. Very easy to deal with. Absolutely awesome bloke. Really, really, really worth checking out. If you're after a handmade pen, check out these Pens by Casey. So let's take a look at what we've got. So we've got, just a white sleeve there. As I said, we've got the label. Let's take the box out of the sleeve. So here we've got the Pens by Casey logo, and then it's just a standard black box. We'll open this up and see what we've got in here. So again, just that standard box. Then we've got this red pen sleeve, very well protected, very well done. This is nice, feels, I don't know, I want to say like felt, but it's not felt. So it's well protected. Got the pen bed, and then underneath there's nothing. So we move that one to one side as well. So we've got yet more wrapping to take out. Honestly, a bit like Christmas again, isn't it? So let's ease the pen out. And here we've got this beautiful Northern York gum burl. Absolutely gorgeous. Hopefully it's showing up quite nice on the camera. Let me just fetch this in. I'm going to hold it up to the camera a bit. Let me get it into focus. There we go. There we go. Let me just turn this around. Look at the beautiful colours in here. Absolutely stunning pen. So let's take a walk through the body. Top of the pen is There's a teeny tiny little dome by the feel of it, but more or less flat. So I'm feeling through, which is why I think there may be a little dome. I may be wrong, but I don't think so. We've got a little bit of beveling and we come down into the cap. The cap seems to be tapering out ever so slightly all the way down to the bottom. Just turn this around for you so you can have a look at the cap in a bit more detail. There's then a step down from the cap to the body. Yes, it's there. I know it's there. Then the body looks similar in that it's virtually the same width, maybe a slight tapering, but it might be the same width. Then as we come down near the end here, this last maybe 3/4 of a centimetre, I can feel a little taper, and that goes down to a flat bottom. Let's take the cap off. There's half a turn. There's 1 turn. Just over 1 turn. Very nice. This reveals this, I believe it's ebonite, this section and the sheath. Inside the cap, let me see if I can get this angled right. Hard to actually show on here. There's an ebonite cap liner in there. So it's lined. It's not open to the wood for the nib. That I think will make a difference from my other wooden pens. It reveals this nib. So this is a standard Yoho nib. It's a 1.1 stub. Getting really into these fatter nibs at the moment, and so I'm quite enjoying 1.1 stub nibs. Take off the body. So again, I believe it's ebonite on ebonite. Then we've got an included Schmidt converter. I've already cleaned the pen out, so I did that before the video, so I've cleaned it all out with water. So this is ready to go when we fetch the ink in. Inside here, it looks like we've got an ebonite liner as well. Beautiful looking pen. Let's just pop it back together. Just admire the beauty of it. I say this is why I've done this on the white, because I thought this would look better than going wood on wood. Let's swap over and we'll take a look at some size comparisons. My standard size comparisons, we've got a Pilot Metropolitan and we've got a Lamy Safari. This pen dwarfs both of those. Even width-wise, it dwarfs them. Let's pop the caps off. With the caps off, the Pen by Casey pen still dwarfs them. Very nice. In the hand, this is a very nice fit. The 13, I believe, is to do with the section size, so I believe it's 13 millimeters. Very nice, very comfortable. I believe he does do other widths, so again, contact him. Beautiful looking pen. Feels very nice in the hand as well. Just fits really nice, just sits there comfy. I'm going to try this once. Doesn't post. You've got that liner. I wouldn't even recommend it, even if it did post. You don't want to scratch this gorgeous finish, do you? Absolutely beautiful pen. We'll swap on over now, and I'm going to fill the pen with ink. I'll start by fetching in my ink holder, and the ink I'm going to use, like I've done with all my Australian made pens, the first fill is a Australian ink. This one, Robert Oster, and I'm going for Aussie Brown. It's a brown, I've not really used it as much as I should because it is a very nice brown. So let's take off that cap and then get into here. Let me just pop all these over on a piece of material so it doesn't scratch. Convert us all the way down. Now I'm going to try and angle this so you can see what's happening. There's the pen into the ink. And then we draw it up. And just with one fill, look at that. I'm not even going to try again. That's a good, well over 3/4 full. Let me just pop this pen back together. So that's been cleaned off. I'll just now get rid of this ink bottle. Then we'll fetch in the notepad of testing for our writing sample. Just dropping in to interrupt your regular programming. Would you like to help support the channel? If so, please consider joining as a member. As a member, you'll get early access to my videos. I normally upload them a couple of days before they go out, and as soon as they're uploaded, they'll be released to members. There'll also be a shout out at the end of the videos, and then as we get the members coming in, we'll actually chat among ourselves and work out what other perks, what other things you'd like me to add in. You know, would you like maybe a monthly live chat just for members? All down to us. So please, if you can, consider joining the channel. A link will be in the description down below. Here's a notepad of testing. This is a black and red A5 notebook, Oxford Optic paper. Absolutely love this paper. Here's the pen. Let's write. So we've got a Pens by Casey. Look at that gorgeous line. And I don't know how to pronounce this. It's Mokuzai, I would say. 13. And this has got a 1.1 stub nib. Now, I'm not going to quote the price for this. These are handmade pens. Depending on what materials you want, depending on the shape you want, depending on all sorts of details, the price can vary. So the best bet, contact Casey direct. Ask him for a quote. Well worth asking him. I think the prices are extremely reasonable for what you're getting. You're getting high quality pens. The ink, Robert Oster Aussie Brown. I think this is actually a very good match for the ink. Look at that. This might be an ink that stays in this pen all the time. I may not even try any other ones. I do like the look of this. Drying times, immediate, 10 seconds. 30 seconds. 1 minute. Still smudging even a little bit there at 1 minute. Let's go and do a 2-minute test. Yeah, after a minute there, that's dry. Let's look at line variations. So here's going down with no pressure. Let's go down with a little bit more pressure. Not really seeing a lot of difference. And then here's going across. Again, I'll try with a bit of pressure. Again, not seeing a difference. So no pressure with, none with, none with. Don't see much in the way of line variation. Obviously, we are seeing the difference between the downline and the cross strokes. That's the nature of this stub nib. Let's move the mic down to the page and we'll write a sentence. That is very nice. It doesn't feel like it's catching the page. Looking at the writing, we've got loads of gorgeous shading coming through. Looks ever so nice. Final test, scribble test. So here's going forward. And here goes backwards. Do you know, it's such a pleasure to write with. This is such a joyful pen to use. What are my thoughts on this pen? I'm going to start with this. Look how beautiful it is. So this is Northern York Gumbo. Now, when we were talking about woods, he's got loads and loads of different materials. He's got resins, he's got woods. We were talking about different woods, and this one, this Northern York Gumbo, actually grows over here in Western Australia, and its range extends down to about half an hour's drive from where I live. So that's, to be honest, the reason why I went for it. Is obviously it's got that bit of a home type meaning. Also, it's called a York Gumbo. Now, when I lived in the UK, I lived not too far away from York, so again, it had that little bit of a personal meaning to it. But as well as all that, just look at this gorgeous wood. Just look at the way we've got the patterns. We've got different colours. Ever so pretty. I think it's such a nice looking pen. It's comfortable to hold. That 13, just about the right size for me. It's not too wide, it's not too narrow. Fits very nicely, it's a nice length. It's It's very well balanced. It just sits there nicely in my hand and it's ready, and it's actually asking to be written with. That's how I feel with this. Threads nice and smooth. Again, nice and smooth there, getting into the converter. And the converter, as we saw, filled extremely well. Writing wise, we're seeing some nice shading coming through with this ink. Say I don't use this ink as often as I should really, because it's a nice, again, it's an Aussie Brown. It does remind you of Australia. I think it's very, very pretty. All in all, absolutely gorgeous pen. Absolutely superb customer service. Cannot fault the customer service in any way, shape or form. I'm certainly planning to go back and get some more pens from Casey. Hopefully I might get one, if not maybe even two this year. We're very impressed by it. We're very pleased with it. I think it's just such a gorgeous pen. So they're my first impressions of the Pens by Casey Mokuzai 13 with Robert Oster Aussie Brown. Isn't that a gorgeous pen? What are your thoughts on these pens? What are your thoughts on handmade pens? Are there any other Australian makers that you might be worth me trying? I've already got a platypus pen, some just turnings, that fountain pen bloke, and now this Casey pen. Are there any other makers that it's worth me trying out this year? Please drop a comment down below. Let's kickstart the conversation. Please hit the thumbs up button every time you like. Every time you comment, just helps with the YouTube algorithm. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel so that you can get new videos as I release them. I'll talk to you again soon.